This week, I'll lead you through a slow evening yoga practice. We're going to stretch and relax the body and just wind down after any kind of a day you've had. Let's get started. For this week's practice, a bolster or some kind of cushions, pillows would be very handy. We need them for a couple of poses just to support the body. And then we are going to start in a seat. So find yourself in an easy seat. It could be a cross-legged seat, or if you prefer, you might sit on your knees, or you might sit on a cushion, wherever you feel that you could find some ease in the hips, in the back, and where you could spend just a couple of minutes in the beginning. And then once you have found that pose, take a slightly deeper breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can let out a sigh. We'll repeat this 2 more times. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let the shoulders relax. 1 more time, breathing in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Then with your next in-breath, lengthen arms up overhead. And now as you exhale, bring the arms sideways down. We'll do this a couple of times. Inhale, lengthen arms up. Now as you exhale again, if you want, you can breathe out through the mouth. One more time with your own pace, inhaling up. And exhale, arms come down. Then bring hands onto your knees. We'll do some seated cat-cows. As you breathe in, open your chest, like puffing the chest forward. As you exhale, round your back. You can tilt the pelvis back. You can round your neck. Again, with the in-breath, open the chest. You could look for a gentle back bend. You can tilt the pelvis forward. Exhale, round the back. You can round the neck as well. You can let the head come down. Few more rounds. Finding your own rhythm and just following your breath. Keep the movement gentle. So not pushing, not pulling, but just allowing the breath to guide that wave-like movement. And just finding the rhythm in the movement as well. One more full round. Inhaling, opening the chest. And exhaling, rounding the back. And then bring yourself to center. And from that seat, bring yourself onto all fours, onto hands and knees. And you could bring your hands just a bit wider than your shoulders. Knees could be a bit wider than the hips. And then we start to circle from hands to knees, knees to hands. Start to invite some movement to your spine. So now you might bring those cat-cow movements here. So while circling from hands to knees, also rounding and arching the spine. You can allow your neck, your head to move. And each circle can be different. Again, looking for that rhythm and noticing how you're breathing along those circles. If you want, you could change the direction. And just allowing yourself to repeat that circle, allowing that rhythm to start calming down the body, the nervous system, and allowing your breaths to follow that rhythm or guide the rhythm as well. Few more circles. Elbows can be soft. And then slowly allow that circling movement to calm down and lean your pelvis down towards the feet into child's pose. If you want, you can lean your head all the way down onto the mat. Or you might bend your elbows, bring hands under the head. And then send a few breaths towards the back. Again, if you want, you might exhale through the mouth a few rounds. Then with your next few breaths from that child's pose, walk hands again a bit further forward and bring yourself back onto hands and knees. Now we're going to extend the left leg behind us. You can tuck the toes under, and then we're going to cross that left foot over to the right side of the mat. And you might start to slowly lean onto your left hand a bit more. So leaning towards the left side, we're looking for some stretching along the left side body. If it helps, you might walk hands a bit more towards the right side of the mat. Might not work for everyone, but just the idea is to lean towards that left side and sending some breaths towards the left side body, keeping neck soft. Take another breath in and out, and then with your next in breath, bring your left foot all the way forward. And we're going to go into the mermaid pose. So now start to lean onto your right hand and turn your pelvis, your chest all the way to the side of the mat so that we keep the right leg extended. You could flex your right foot and we keep the left foot on the mat. Now trying to find some gentle stretching on the right side body, so on the underside of the body. You might lean a bit forward, maybe bringing the left hand onto the mat as well. Or some people might want to lean slightly back, kind of twisting a bit towards that left knee. All of these small changes can change how you feel in the pose. Keep breathing and keep sending your breaths to those places where you feel the pose most. And if you start to feel tension building up, let out a couple of sighs, exhale through the mouth. And then slowly we start to turn towards the right foot. And we're going to cross that left leg over the right leg into a half shoelace. If crossing the right knee on top of the, left knee on top of the right knee doesn't feel good, you can always open the left leg into a half butterfly pose. So your left foot on the inside of the right leg. See what feels manageable to you now. And then slowly start to walk hands further forward, over or towards that right foot. If you want, you could exhale round your upper back, round the neck. And then give yourself a few slightly slower breaths here, in and out. You can play with flexing or keeping the right foot flexed or pointing the right foot. That might change the sensations around the hips, thighs, calves, feet. Take one more slower breath in and out. And then with your next in breath, slowly help yourself back up. And we're going to turn towards the top of the mat, come back onto all fours. And then we're going to go into the poppy pose or the melting heart pose. So now you could do this without any props, keeping hips on top of the knees, walking hands a bit further forward, and then melting your heart, your chest towards the mat. If that feels too intense, you can bring a bolster or a cushion under the chest and then lean the head down. And just like in child's pose, your arms could be extended, or you might bend your arms so that your hands are under the head. Just allowing a gentle inversion in the upper body. So leaving the pelvis higher up, leaning the heart, the head down. Allowing the lower back to soften. Take a couple more breaths in and out. And then slowly find your hands maybe a bit closer to your shoulders so you can lift yourself back onto all fours. If you have a bolster or a pillow there, just push that prop aside. And then we're going to extend the right leg behind us. You can tuck the toes under and then step the right foot over to the left side of the mat. So we go into that side bend and start to lean towards the right hand, trying to now find some opening along the right side body. Again, if you want, you might walk hands a bit more towards the left side of the mat. Keep neck soft and leaning towards the right. Send your breaths to those areas where you feel the pose most. And then with your next in breath, step that right foot all the way forward. Maybe not all the way to hands, but somewhere close to the hands. Leave left hand on the mat and then start to turn to the other long side of the mat. Now we leave the left leg extended. You can flex the left ankle, the left foot. And then looking for some opening along the left side of the body, so on that lower side. See if you want to lean forward, maybe the right hand comes on the mat. Or maybe you want to open your chest more towards that right knee. And those small rotations might change where you feel the pose. And this side might be different. You can also play with how much you sink into that left shoulder, or if you push the shoulder away from the ear. Take another breath in and out. And then we're going to turn towards the left foot. And we're going to look for that forward bend. So now you could cross your right knee on top of a left knee, or you have the half butterfly option. See which one works on this side. And then start to walk your hands forward. Kind of finding that forward tilt. And if you want, you can round your spine, round your upper back, your neck, your head forward. And you can send your breaths towards the back side of your spine, to the back of the ribs. Just allow yourself to melt into that forward bend. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. And after those couple of breaths, slowly bring your back up, bring your neck, your head up. And again, we're going to turn towards the top of the mat. This time we release both legs behind us, and we're going to come into a cobra or a seal pose. So see where you want to have your hands, your arms. They could be further forward, like a seal. You might also walk hands right under the shoulders and then lean your shoulders a bit forward, kind of leaning over the hands, over the fingers. And now you have permission to drop your drop your shoulders towards the ears, if that feels better. So rather than a very active cobra, this is just almost hanging out in this back bend. And if you feel it's really intense in the lower back, that's when shifting the weight forward, leaning shoulders over the fingers might help. Take the pressure off the lower back. Give yourself a couple more breaths in and out here. And then slowly from here, bring yourself onto hands and knees. Now tuck the toes under and then walk yourself into a standing forward bend. So we're not going to come up to standing in a full upright pose, but leaning into a standing forward bend. If you have a bolster, if you have a cushion there, you could lean your hands or elbows onto that support. You can bend the knees as much as you want, but just finding that gentle, full forward bend. You can play with shifting the weight towards the toes or leaning more onto the heels. Releasing the neck, allowing heavy head to drop down. Take a couple more breaths here in and out.
And then from this forward bend, start to bend the knees so you can bring your hands onto the mat. Walk your feet further back so you can bring yourself onto your knees. And then we're going to come into a seated pose and into supported back bend. So turn your back onto your bolster or pillow. So this is where we would need some support under the back. If you don't have anything, just lean onto the mat. And then if you want, you can open the legs into a butterfly shape. If that doesn't feel good, feel free to extend your legs. Or you might bring legs into a cross-legged seat in that back bend. Arms in any shape allows your shoulders to relax. If you want, you might bring arms higher up, lower down. And then we allow ourselves to pause here for a moment. Invite your full awareness back to your breath. Allow your in-breaths to slide down towards the belly, the bottom of the ribs, the chest. Exhale from the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. Again, inhaling down towards the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhaling from the belly, the ribs, the chest. Couple more times. Inhaling to belly, ribs, chest. Exhale from the belly, the ribs, the chest. Continue a couple more rounds in your own pace, with your own breath. Following that wave of breath, sliding in and sliding out. After your next exhalation, let your breath relax. Just continue to observe your natural, easy, relaxed breathing. If you want to stay on the bolster, you can stay on the bolster. Or if you'd rather come lie down on your back on the mat, you can push the bolster aside. Bring yourself down onto the mat. And continue relaxing there in Shavasana pose. Now you can stay in your resting pose. I'll bring myself up into a seat.
You can continue your Shavasana pose as long as is needed. I'll leave you here with a couple of minutes of some music, and you can stay in your resting pose. And as always, thank yourself for taking some time to practice tonight. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you.